The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real. Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shay's Paranormal Chat, TGIF. Thank God it's fucking Friday. Oh, I should have added an effing. Like, TGIF. Never mind, I can't spell. Kelly's already laughing at me. Hey, 5 seconds in to drop my first F-bomb. Here we go.
That's got to be a record. That has to be some sort of record.
It really is my record because normally I don't, but it has been a hell of a week. I don't know about anybody else. And I'm trying to get into chat, guys. I'll be there very soon. But I want to give a special shout out to my youngest daughter. As some of you might know, Caitlin, she has co-hosted on the show. She has special guest co-hosted on B Squared Magic Mondays. We've had a rough year and a half, and our house burnt down, and she bounced back from that, and she's such a good kid. And then the past 6 months, she's had some other difficulties, and yesterday was a day from hell. Let me tell you, day from hell from this girl, 17 years old. And if I was her, I would have come home, I would have went to bed, and would not have gotten up till the next day. And she still went to a play callback. Kelly's smiling because she knows. I'm not going to announce on air what happened. But, so Kelly doesn't know this part. She went to this play callback that she's finally like, I'm going to do this. I auditioned. She got the callback for the town, the opera house. And not only did she get the call back, but she got the role of Wendy in Peter Pan for the town of Newport. So I am more proud of her for trying and still going through with the callback yesterday than the fact that she's in the play. She's a great kid, and she'll listen to this later and yell at me. It's all good. You know, so, but she deserves some pats on the back because she's an awesome, awesome kid. And I'm proud of her for just keep going forward, Kate. You can do anything you put your mind to, and just remember that. So, no further ado, we have the awesome co-host, Kelly McCarville.
Hello. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. And we have Jay. How do you pronounce your last name?
Wyrick. Just like a question.
That's what I thought, but, you know. We
got to make sure, we say things funny when we're not trying, so,
Massachusetts,
okay. Well, it's a very southernish, I guess, name. I don't know. I get it all my life, though.
So, I've been looking forward to this for like 6 weeks now, because that's how long this has been planned. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Thank you for putting up with my little spiel about my daughter, but she deserves it.
Yes, she does.
Yes. So
it's a big role and a big play, though.
Actually, it's the first time she's ever actually auditioned for a play, and it's not a school play. It's actually for the whole town, and she got Wendy, so that's even a bonus. But just the fact she auditioned and went through with it and kept going after the day she had for the callback, I'm so proud of her. She's a great
she can keep it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So. Went through with it.
Right.
My volume's on. Hold on, guys.
All right.
That's the first time that's ever happened. Normally, I'm better about that, but.
And what can I say? I bring out the first.
I wish that was true, but
I'm behaving.
Every week it's a new issue with me. I was
and only half of them are technical.
Yeah, I was an accidental podcast co-host. Then I was an accidental podcast host. Now I'm an accidental podcast co-owner and all of the above. So people kind of either love me, hate me, but they laugh at me either way. So it's all good.
Hey, it works out. I was an accidental birth, so...
Oh, well, there you go.
I was too. My mother was 15, so I feel you there. Hopefully, she's probably listening tonight, too. Hi, Mom. I love you. Sorry, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yes.
All right.
Poor Kelly. Kelly's so professional, and she's so awesome, and she puts up with me. She ropes me in when need to be, but she lets me go so far.
Hey, Shay, we have a guest.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So,
well, you need someone to rope you in sometimes.
That's
we take turns. To be fair, we take turns reining each other in. So, all right. So, Mr. Jay, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a Cancer. I was born in the summer of '82. It was a great year. I forgot what my song of the birth was, but it's okay. It's all good.
Now let's fast forward 82 and be 36. Let's fast forward 36 years.
I'm wheezing for anybody wondering. I'm laughing, but I'm wheezing so hard.
I had to math real quick, and it was hard. Yeah. So fast forward 36. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you now? You're still a Cancer, I'm guessing. Just
yeah. I haven't changed my birthday yet. I'm working on that, though. I'm trying to be a Capricorn.
British Columbia will not let you change your age. It was a whole legal battle. They would not let them, so I doubt anybody will let you change it here in America.
I'm trying to be 65, forever. So I'm trying, but I guess I'll have to go overseas.
29 strong. I don't know what you people are doing.
Hey, my grandmother's been 29 for about 50 some odd years.
Right? I don't have that many years under my belt, but I'm going to when I get there.
I feel it. Does that help?
Well, as long as you feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a co-founder of a group called Supernatural Serenity. I just recently, in the last couple months, started a magazine called ParaNation magazine, which is how I met you, Shay. And, it's been kind of busy, doing most of the magazine aspects myself. So it's constantly writing and designing and interviewing and that sort of thing on top of, a normal 40 some odd hour work days. And then, of course, doing investigations of my own and trying to review footage and turn it into something that I can at least swallow to watch, because if I can't watch it, then why would I ever show anybody else? So
exactly. I'm going to put my phone down.
On occasion, you throw in a couple hours of sleep, right? Just somewhere. I mean, that's what we try to do anyways, is
I keep forgetting to sleep.
2 hours to sleep every third day. Yeah,
I try to sleep when I drive to work and when I drive home.
Oh, that's a good plan. I haven't tried that one.
I had an ex that did that. That's probably why he's an ex, but
well, hopefully he's not like an ex-person and just an ex-relationship.
Yeah, because if he's sleeping on his drive to work, he could be an ex lot of things. So
he's still alive for some reason. I don't know how, but let me tell you.
So tell us a little bit about ParaNation magazine. What Like, what's included in the magazine? What type of stuff do you like to have in there?
It's just coming out this month, right?
Yeah. So actually, Wednesday is my planned rollout for the first issue.
Woo-hoo!
I know, right? So excited and quite terrified, to be honest.
It'll be fine. It's going to be perfect.
And there's a lot of people that had some pretty decent, interesting, got some positive reviews on the thing so far. And I mean, usually when I write the articles, I usually show the people who I interviewed, and so far they've all loved it. So, I mean, that's a good sign so far. Somebody likes it. But the whole concept of it, I always liked writing, and I've been involved or interested in the paranormal for about 22 years now. So, I mean, I kind of went from blogging a long time ago, and I decided, hey, maybe I'll try to go ahead and write something. But the only real big magazine that really is out there that's current is, the Haunted magazine that's over in the UK. And there really wasn't anything here or anything that was consistent that I saw. And I tried reaching out to some people, and of course, didn't get any feedback. So I said, hey, why not? I'll try something myself. And, if it fails, it wouldn't be the first time I've tried something. But hey, I wanted to write about it. I'm interested in it. And it's been fun so far, a little expensive, but I mean, the best compliment I've gotten so far, I've showed it to the co-founder of my group, and he goes, you know what? It looks like a real magazine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. It looks like a real magazine. So.
Well, thank you, Hal. That's kind of what I was going for.
Exactly.
I have to say out loud to everybody listening, just because the listeners, at least in chat, if there's new listeners, they won't get it. But the people in chat that know me know that I'm very careful about who I have on the show. If I don't know you, I do my research. I'm very careful. We talked for maybe 2 hours. And you were, number one, it was so easy to talk to you. And you were right on point with stuff. Whether I agreed or disagreed, that doesn't matter. I agreed. Yeah. We're not going to, I'm not going to pretend. But that night, I'm like, hey, come January, you want to be on the show? This was almost 2 months ago, 6 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
So I know nothing about you really either. I know you have dogs.
Yeah, I got some dogs.
I know you have like 20 years in the field.
Yeah, a lot of Scooby doing, but yeah.
Don't we all? I love Scooby-Doo.
That's part of it.
Yeah. You did some documentary stuff too, right?
Yeah, I had some aspects. I attempted to, right. That was more of the process. The former group I was in, we attempted to do a couple documentaries, and, we did a pilot to kind of pitch to a couple companies and stuff. And then unfortunately, right about that time where things were supposed to be kind of finalized and agreed upon, it kind of fell through a little bit. But that's just kind of part of how things are. I mean, I'm sure everybody has a sad story about that where, they kind of start with a group. That was my first like group experience, as far as using a lot of the equipment and stuff. So, but, at the end of the day, coming out of that, I kind of started the Supernatural Serenity with the co-founder, Aaron. We're really good friends. And I mean, it's been fairly positive. I mean, the two of us kind of work really well together. So, I mean, and, he kind of ties me down a little bit because sometimes I can get a little overexcited about things because
I hear you.
I have yet to ever been scared of a location so far. I'm really hoping to one day, but I usually get very excited, and it's like a kid in a candy shop, and he's like, "Come on back, take a step back," So it's pretty good dynamic.
We need a couple people like that in our lives.
I think I need, an entire squadron with ropes and chains.
I have multiple.
Nothing kinky though. Just keep me tied down to the proper way.
All right. Well, I don't know about that, but no, I have a couple people in different areas that, like Kelly on this. I wasn't kidding. Like, she kind of like. I can tell by the mom look, or she'll just change the subject, and not a complaint. If Kelly changes the subject, if she changes the subject, it needs to be changed. Which a long time I did the show by myself, and nobody changed the subject, and it went downhill real quick.
We still let it go downhill a little bit. But,
and
you have to work really hard to earn the mom look. So,
yeah.
But I do have it down. Yeah, I'll admit it. I have mastered that look.
Well,
all right, so we have a question in chat already.
Uh-oh.
They are wondering where you are based out of.
I am based out of Denver, Colorado.
Ooh,
Nice. Well, it's kind of cold right now. We got some snow. I'm kind of hiding in a warm, bedroom because, outside it's quite cold. And, it's Christmas time when Christmas wasn't like this. So I'm kind of happy I haven't taken down my Christmas decorations yet. I can still pretend.
Oh, hell, I did.
My tree is still up. It's so much work to put up your decorations, and then Christmas is over. It's like, just take it down, really?
It's more work to take it down.
It is. And I mean, who's got time for that? It's like I barely had time to put it up.
And think about it this way, Jay. If we just leave it up, we don't have to do it again next year. Think how prepared we will be for Christmas.
See, I would agree with that, but I moved a whole new desk into the same room as the Christmas tree. So I had to make room.
Yeah.
So I was like, the tree's got to go. I don't care what Kate says. Love her to death, but the tree's got to go.
Amy's telling me I'm naughty. I'm not naughty.
I was wondering who she was saying was naughty.
Whoa.
Because I've been called naughty before, but...
Well, I asked her because I'm like, not me. I'm innocent. No, she called me naughty.
Innocent with the horns coming out.
It holds my halo up well.
Exactly.
So Denver's got some really, really cool places I've heard to investigate. What kind of places have you been to?
One of my favorite kind of places here in town, I say town, but here in the state is actually the Cripple Creek Outlaw and Lawman Museum. I've been there several times actually in the last couple months. It's just a really interesting and unique type of building because when you see like a lot of the museums, they're usually refurbished quite a bit or they're added on. This is completely the same exact way it was almost 100 years ago when it was built. So I mean,
cool.
It's obviously it updated. It closed down in like 91, I want to say. So I mean, it had a little updating aspects to it, but I mean, it has all the original bars. It has the original concrete. It's just fabulous to look at. I mean. They even went as far as to taking the original grating on the windows that they had and put it as a railing for second tier of this jail cell. So so I mean, everything they kept, they used. I mean, they have the old boiler, even though it doesn't work anymore. They have it on display down in the basement. They did a really good job with keeping it pretty intact. Yeah,
Denver's so cool. They're just I had to go out there for a week for work, and I love to just drive around the mountains. I love the mountains, and I'll just because have you never been to Iowa?
I have. I was actually just in Iowa not long ago for New Year's.
It's flat and boring and nothing to look at.
Well, I was in Villisca, so I mean, you know.
Well, okay, so that's fun. That is fun.
Yeah, I was at a particular house everyone seems to know about.
Well, I have an idea where you might have been.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else in Villisca.
Places ever. Like,
I don't know about
I can't say quantity, but I mean, I can't say quality, but quantity-wise, it's all over the place. It's like Iowa here, Iowa there. I can't wait. Someday I will get out there.
That's because Iowa people love you. So
Iowa people do love me. I think they don't know better.
My problem with sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, you know, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
My problem with Colorado that I was having is I'd be driving around just looking at things, and I'd come across all these old buildings or like old mines, which could be really dangerous, or just old limestone buildings. Or I want to stop and I want to go look at all of them, and I'm pretty sure that's probably illegal. And it's really hard because there's so much cool stuff.
There is a lot. I actually like going up to Central City up by Blackhawk.
Yes, that's a cool place.
They still have a lot of like the older areas where you can go through and you can, you know, they have like the old saloons and the old brothels that are now part of the casinos and stuff like that.
But so you can see what it looked like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's still really cool. You know, you don't have to really pay much. You just have to make that drive, which is a very nice drive. I mean, beautiful driving through the mountain area up there. So, you know. Does it ever get old if you live there? I mean, do you ever just forget to appreciate how pretty it is? I've been here 10 years, almost to the day, actually. I think my 10-year anniversary, like last week. And no, the city gets old. Don't get me wrong. Like looking at Denver,
yeah,
it does. But when you're driving and you're stuck in traffic and you're looking at the mountains, you're like, okay, this ain't half bad. It's not half bad at all. So
the traffic there is crazy. So the town is, I could do without the town. But anyways, okay. Look at me. See, you talk about me keeping people on track, Shay, and here I am totally straying off course. We're going to have an hour show about Denver.
I know nothing about Colorado, period, except for that guy with the glasses saying. I don't even know his name. He sang a song about Colorado. Like
John Denver?
Yes.
Are you talking about John Denver?
Wow.
Did he sing a song about that area?
A few people have.
Yeah, I don't know that it was about Denver. His name was Denver, but
that could be too. So I'm like,
cold medicine is fun.
Yeah.
He talked to him for 2 hours. He knew what he was getting into, so I don't feel
he's still
bad.
great. Come on, he's a good man.
Yeah, they're saying you're a great guest. So
well, thank you.
Chat, so. They also say that about anybody that tolerates me.
Well, to be fair, last time you weren't on cold medicine, but I think I can deal with this.
I am. Can you tell? I didn't. Yeah. I'm trying to pretend.
Oh,
okay.
That's good.
So,
see, here she goes. Yeah, go ahead, Cal.
Here comes a serious voice, serious face,
kind of serious. So, what has been your most favorite location that you've ever visited?
Are we talking here in the country or in the world? Because I have a little experience of both.
Both.
Anywhere.
Both.
Hey, I'm looking to. I am just making a list of places I want to go, and it's such a horrible twist in my arm to go overseas. So yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you're probably going to hate my in-states one because it was Villisca Axe Murder House, just because it was just a lovely place. I really did appreciate it. I mean, the place, I took a nap there. It was great. I definitely did not feel like I was alone, but I also didn't feel like I was going to, be pulled down to the depths of hell. And that's quite all right. It's okay. I love the place. The kids are great. Overseas, well, technically you can't really investigate this. Technically, I probably broke international law doing this, but it was still great. Okay, so if you're in
law enforcement, just tune out right now. Go ahead.
Well, unless you're Interpol, everything's okay. You can't prove anything. So I was in the military once upon a time, and I was stationed in South Korea. And in the middle of Seoul, they have this like 400-year-old temple that was part of the empires, and like Japan, when they invaded, they took it over, and it was like one of their main headquarters. And then when they got chased off, it was like one of the first places that, the local Koreans took back. And it was beautiful. I mean, everything is so beautiful, and it was well maintained, and, very minor repairs. I mean, even for being in the middle of war and all that stuff between, Japan and North Korea and so forth. And, and the part that, I kind of shouldn't have done, but I still did, was still technically during my Scooby-Dooing days and, my lore chasing day type things. And I kept hearing the story about how there was a samurai, warrior that would haunt this particular temple. And most of the temple is roped off to everybody but pretty much the monks and the few people who worked there with them, like the maintenance people and so forth. And I kind of stepped over that line and kind of walked around, and because I thought I saw someone wearing armor, in 2004, that shouldn't have happened. So I went chasing after it. Yeah. And it was the coolest thing because I saw, the individual walking, and I said, oh, I want to go say hi, and of course the friend of mine who was with me that was Korean is yelling at me, having a heart attack as I'm, walking down this little stone sidewalk, and I turn a corner, and sure enough, there's nobody in this dead end corner, and I turn and look, and in this window I see this armor sitting on display, and I was like, I wonder if that was it. That was, I still don't know, of course, nothing to really document it, but I still wonder if that was, maybe the spirit of the warrior of that armor or something. But it was just such a really interesting, really calm and really cool. I mean, every time you walk there, when you're taking a tour, you obviously there's several people with you, but you always have this thing like on the other side of the rope, where nobody's really there. It's a display part. You just feel like people are watching you, and it's nothing scary or nothing horrible, but it's just like they're just making sure, seeing who you are kind of thing. And it was a really interesting feeling going through there. And I mean, I definitely want to go fly back over there and at least take the tour legally, not trying to break any laws.
But if they happen to look away and, oops, you get lost. I mean,
right. I didn't touch anything, I didn't try
I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, pretty much. I said I got turned around.
You said you turn left. I got confused. So
yeah, exactly. That was pretty much the excuse when, the employee did find me and he, brought me back to the rest of the path area. But yeah, I was like, I just took a wrong turn. I don't know where I'm going.
I don't know how I got here. I'm not supposed to be here? Really? Oh, I'm just sorry.
Just a dumb American. I don't know anything. I played the card. It worked well.
Right? Play ignorant. It always works well.
Always works. I can play dumb pretty well. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's always a good time. Yeah, it's funny when you walk up to someone when you do have to tell them, "Oh, I'm ghost hunting," and they kind of give you this look like, "Okay," I was at a location we had cops show up, and I was the lucky person who got sent to the sheriff's car to tell them, "Nice, for ghost hunting." So, anyways.
I've had that before, and someone just sees flashlights, or something, in the windows, like there's a cat burglar, and I say meow.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Is it was an abandoned building, and they'd seen the flashlights in there, and one of the neighbors called in. So, which I get. I mean, that's a good thing that people should be watching out for these old buildings, but.
After a while, though, because I spent about 12 years just hunting down lures, not really asking for permission for things, kind of doing or some urban exploring, if you would.
Right.
After a while, you just kind of over-exaggerate what you're actually doing. So it's like, I'm ghost hunting or I'm looking for a chupacabra. It's like, I'm trying to raise the devil. Leave me alone. And usually they go, okay, just don't break anything.
Well, and the funny part about this one is there's actually two sheriffs that had come out there, and one of them was really super friendly, talked to us the whole time. He was like interested. He stuck around for like an hour just chatting with us. The other was an older gentleman, and he was very, very to the book. He was not impressed that we were ghost hunting. And when I finally got him to drive away, he's like, "So do you really think you talk to him when you're in there?" I'm like, "Well, I do, because I'm a psychic medium, so I can talk to him directly." He goes, "Uh-huh." And gets in his car and drives away. It's just like, now I know the magic words.
It's a hi, I'm a psychic medium, I'm out.
Hi.
That's just usually how I answer everything. It's like, oh, hey, hi, hi. But you got to do the wave.
We've been at places, people come up, are you ghost hunters? Are you looking for ghosts? However they word it, whatever. And you never know. You're like, yes. Like, you step back, yes. You never know if they're gonna like start bitching or if they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, you want to know what I know?" It's a tough walk.
That's why you just got to be quick with on your feet when they do that, because I mean, I like to get in, I like to get the work and stuff, and I don't mind talking to people who kind of come up, but I pay money to go to these places, so I want to get my money's worth out of it. So
yeah.
If it lasts more like 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. We're not really ghost hunting. We're burying a body now. If you don't leave, you're going to be the second one, and usually they go, okay, I get it. It's like someone's going to be investigating you in next month if you don't get out of here.
That's funny. That is so something I would say.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that I'm, tattoos and a beard, so people automatically think I'm a ruffian or a rapscallion or something. I don't know.
Of course.
Whatever the kids are saying these days.
Right?
You have tattoos. You must be a bad person. You must
of course, yes.
You must be worshiping the devil.
And I'm injecting that marijuana and stuff, it's
Can you inject
dancing
marijuana?
And everything.
Injecting it.
Injecting it and dancing.
Injecting the marijuana. I gotcha.
Yes.
Well, so we've strayed once again.
Hey, we're still kind of on topic.
Tonight, Shay. Kind of, sort of.
So we're talking about investigating.
Hey, this is
So, like stories of your experiences. So are you going to include stories? He doesn't know how to handle this. It's got to be Shay, think about this. Sitting in the middle of both of us has got to be like juggling
And
water
also my
balloons.
best behavior for his interview, which the article hasn't come out yet, so I should still be on my best behavior. But at this point, I'm like, fuck it. Oh well. This is
whatever. It's kind of like Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an article about Shay in your first magazine.
Not on the first one, unfortunately.
Not the first one, no.
No.
But in one of them?
Yep, in one of them.
I'm so excited. I know a superstar. Oh, Shay, don't
it's
forget
not
us
about me.
when
It's
you get famous.
It's about the network, not about me. That would be a short article about me.
You are
there's a
the
little
network.
bit.
Yeah,
It's going to be half and half.
Yeah.
Do you remember that you're the one in charge of the net?
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
You started
that's why
the
she
network,
needs you.
you run the network. You're
I try to forget that
No.
when I'm live on air and I want to have fun. I forget the fact that, hey, you could be sued. Well, let's forget that right now. Let's go with it.
sued. What is this
Sued.
sued stuff?
So you just are we talking about? I can't do that?
Yeah, don't say douchebaggins on air.
Why? Is that somebody's name?
I think so, but I guess they don't.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kind of kidding.
Yeah, I've been on multiple shows where there's been a lot of things said, and I'm thinking, one of these days he's going to tune in, and we're all going to get served. That's all there is to it.
Oh, you give him too much credit.
His ego is so big. As long as you mention him, he's loving it. Let him sue me. My house burnt down last year. What's he gonna get? Does he want a kid?
A lot of ashes.
He wants the ashes so he can say they're haunted and do another documentary on them.
He'll probably figure out how it was a demon that burned your house down today.
Him and many others. Let's not go there. It's been.
Oh my God! I can't even imagine.
That's why I don't mention the previous group.
I've been confronted on air.
Well, on that theme, then that's why my house has never burned down.
Yeah.
I do the devil's work, so he'll make sure that my house always stays standing.
Yes.
So. I'm gold. Oh, we're so straight.
See, you got it in good. You got a good in. Hey, can you talk to him about getting that air conditioner repaired in my suite? I keep visiting. And it's just hot as hell.
But I can try. But the laundry list of my requests are long.
Well,
is that why my heat won't shut off? It's his work. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you earned that one.
See,
oh my goodness.
That's why I instantly asked him on, because I knew he could tolerate me.
Yeah, it works out.
After the show, who knows? But he'll tolerate me for the show. Afterwards, he'll be like, "Oh, what?"
Well, if it makes you feel any better, this is basically exactly how every interview I've done so far. We usually take some sort of a crack at some new product called douchebaggins, and we usually laugh and we tell some jokes and we occasionally talk about investigating and experiences. So, this is just normal for me.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So, it's all good. It's right exactly how, I like to do things. So
you're very comfortable.
I am sitting here in my underwear. So, yes.
So, all right.
You're only in your underwear, and Shay's not wearing any. So look at the pair you made.
Well, hey, I have to check. Maybe it's her underwear I'm wearing. I'm not sure.
Shay,
I feel overdressed.
Underwear. Shay's in pajamas, but she is wearing underwear. This is me, no makeup and pajamas, but I am wearing underwear for those who can't see me. I'm not wearing a bra. Does that count as underwear? I don't know. But anyway.
Well, you wear it under.
Yeah.
See, that's where I was going. I wasn't going to call it out specifically, but good job. Now the audience knows as well.
Anybody that knows me in real life knows. I don't give a shit. Whatever. This is me.
It doesn't take much to lead her to that answer.
No.
Well,
Well, look, Mama Pat to the rescue.
I asked to rein us back in, so I knew she would.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a question. How long have you been investigating, and what was your most interesting investigation?
There you go.
All right. So, like I'd mentioned, I kind of started doing like lores and, actually cryptid type stuff. So they said there's a monster in the woods. I go running in the woods. I was like 14, probably not the smartest at the time, but that's what I did. And so it just kind of grew from there. And the paranormal, like as far as like spirits and entities, I mean, that was a little later in my teens when I started doing that. I actually moved to North Carolina when I was about 15, 16 years old. And that's about when I really started kind of picking up on, spirit and entities, because where I had moved to, there was actually quite a bit of stories and locations. A lot of them were just public open areas, and I just kind of go visit there. And one of the more interesting things that kind of still to this day, I guess you can say I investigated it, even though by, standards now, there was no such thing. It's not really considered. It's more of kind of attempting to, I guess you could say. But there was this house that was just abandoned behind this shopping area in Greensboro, North Carolina. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know. I haven't been back in years. But it's called Quaker Village. It was in old town and farm areas that used to be where the Quakers had settled in North Carolina. And there's this house, and it was abandoned. And I remember I walked past it. I just noticed it. It was kind of overgrown a little bit. And it just always drew my eye and drew my attention out of nowhere, and I kept seeing it. And I remember I saw one of the employees to a restaurant that was literally right nearby. Like the parking lot butted up pretty much to their, the grass slope, because that's a high slope. And I talked to him. I was like, hey, what's going on with this house? Is it for sale? Is it someone living there? And they're like, I've worked here for 3 years. Never saw anybody in there, that sort of thing. I was like, okay, maybe I'll take a peek one day. So I figured it was like abandoned, or because I didn't see any real estate signs or anything like that. And actually later on, come to find out, the house right next door to it had like a triple homicide next to it. And, it was like crazy, weird things would happen. Like, they found in that actual house, they found a couple of homeless people that passed away, either by natural causes or just strange causes or drug overdose. Just the area kind of just drew apparently death. And I remember I was walking by one night, and I drew my eye again, looked up, and in the basement, in the attic, I saw a light on. And of course that caught my eye because I've never seen lights on in this place. I'm like, oh, maybe someone finally bought the place. And I'm looking around, there's no cars in the driveway. There's really like dramatic driveway. It's like the wrap around, like it started over here and you just kind of keep looking and walking. It just keeps going and going. And this wasn't like a very big piece of land or anything. But I saw it and I looked, and it was just really creepy. And all I kept hearing is these dogs barking. And I was like, but someone's living here. There's dogs. They're going to come bite me. I don't want to be bitten by a dog, because they sounded pretty big, but I never saw a dog. I just took off, turned around, walked, and I heard them, and I thought they were kind of, getting closer. So I took off running because, I didn't want to chance it. Came back with a few friends, and actually it was the very first group, if you would, attempt of an investigation. And it was actually a woman who was just realizing that she was a medium, and just a couple other friends that were just as dumb as I was. And we said, okay, we're going to park over here. We went up, we walked up, we started going in there. And as soon as we got onto the yard, it was like the heaviest feeling you've ever felt. I swear someone picked me up and dropped me in a pool. And I pretty much, one friend was frozen. He couldn't even move. He was so terrified. I think he might have actually peed his pants or something. I don't know. He ran back to the car. The woman that was with us broke down in tears. She was saying her grandmother, who had been like her guardian angel type thing, was telling her to leave, just leave. Another friend, the other guy that was with us, he starts walking up there, and he gets like almost to the sidewalk walkway into the front porch area, and the front door is just wide open, which was very unusual because I've never seen the front door wide open. He's like, there's somebody in there. And I was like, what are they doing? He's like, they're just staring at me. And he's like, I'm going to go in. I was like, okay, let's go in. And he takes 2 steps and the door slams, and he's like, I'm not going.
Wow.
And just like the wind started picking up and everybody starts freaking out. And I'm like, okay, maybe we should leave now because I don't know what's going on with this thing. And at this time I didn't know about, anybody dying there. I didn't know about the triple homicide next door or anything like that. And so I take off, and the woman was driving, and she was freaking out. Like, she peeled out of there. She was doing like 70 miles an hour on like a 20, we went on some back North Carolina roads and everything like that. And it's just, I was kind of looking forward to it, but I'll say, now I was kind of relieved that we didn't actually go into the building, to be honest. It was one of those things, if it doesn't feel right, you probably shouldn't do it. And it definitely didn't feel right.
That's my big thing. I love how you're downplaying your first quote unquote group investigation as a teenager.
Yeah.
You're like downplaying this, saying we were just stupid kids. But add 10 years to that, and that's most paranormal quote unquote paranormal investigators. That's their first experience too. So you just got a head start on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I sat there, like I grew up in Florida, so I mean, you know, you always hear about something weird running around the swamps of the woods in Florida, and I was like 13, 14 going, I'm going to go ride a giant alligator, you know, because there's one eating kittens or something. And it's like, okay, this is weird.
On that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I did a couple little ones, you know, like they were supposed to be in the graveyard that, ironically enough, was like 3 blocks away from that place, is like from the early 1800s kind of thing. And, you know, they had like Civil War and some revolutionary, you know, soldiers that was buried there and so forth like that, you know. And I was like, okay, I went over there and they say, you know, at dusk, you know, you hear these drums of, you know, like the Civil War or something like that. And so I go over there, and there's like a back part of it that's the oldest part. And it's just covered in just dense woods. I'm like, they should take care of this. You know, that's the first thought I had. They should take care of this. This is a cemetery, you know. And it's definitely had some really strange experiences over there. But I mean, unfortunately, I wish like it wasn't the 90s, so I could afford things like cameras.
Right.
I wish I wasn't 14, 15.
Well, and at the time, at that age, we just wanted the experience.
Yeah.
But at that time, we just wanted the experience. If we were, I mean, at least for me, I was doing it almost as much to be scared as I was to capture anything, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and I was bored. That was my big thing.
When you got interested in the paranormal, was it because... Sorry, what?
I said I was just mostly bored. I wanted something to do.
Well, yeah. I grew up in a little town. There was nothing to do, so we went and scared ourselves. So.
Exactly.
I had a baby.
When you found... Well, that is terrifying. Let's talk about scaring ourselves.
Sorry.
We chose things we could run away from.
I wish they could have seen both your faces when I said that. You both froze.
Well, shit. How do we go from there?
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
I wish I had thought of...
You started getting interested in the paranormal, was it because of an experience that you had, or was it just...
So I got involved a little bit different than pretty much every single person I've ever talked to. And I've obviously, with the magazine, I would talk to a lot of people before that, hence why I wanted to do that. So I was more into parapsychology at first.
Okay.
Funny enough, I saw the movie Firestarter when I was like 6 or 7, and I was like, "That's movie. Cool." Yeah, I know.
What's her name?
The shoplifter.
Drew Barrymore.
True. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore. She was a little kid in that. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on.
And so, you know, I said, that's cool. And, you know, I'd go to the library and I read on things, and I knew it was a book, and I read about things about it, and, you know, the old card catalog, you know, aspect, and the old DOS-based, you know, library system. Yep. I use all those, and eventually got me to basically the religious section. But in the religious section, it was like a New Age religious section, and it was about as big as a bookshelf that I have here now. And that led me into stuff like, you know, clairvoyance and mediumship and psychics and, you know, all that fun stuff. And I mean, so it kind of got to that point, and I remember I was like 9 years old. Like, I really should have been reading this stuff. You know?
I was the same age when I started. So, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'm reading all these books, and I'm like how-to guys, you know, and I was really big into comic books. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be like an X-Men or something. Yeah, you know. And I'm, you know, doing all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this didn't work. Okay, next book, you know. Just keep reading all this stuff. And hey, I'm brutally honest here, you know. And that just continued.
You know what? It could happen.
Hey, I'm still waiting. You know, I'm still waiting. I hope my 40th birthday. I still try to do
things with my mind, just so you know.
You know. I do too, and then I realize it's a gust of wind. I'm like, damn it. And then, so that kind of led me to things like shamanism, you know, and then just contacting spirits and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, that's cool. So I'd read about it. I was interested in it, you know, seances and things like that. But I really wasn't kind of jumping into that. And then, you know, I was more like hands-on. Like I always said, I want to fight a bear. That's how I want to die. I want to fight a bear or a giant gorilla or something. So, you know, even as like 13 years old. I was like, I'm going to go find.
regret that, but okay, keep going.
Hey, that's how I plan on going out. I'm not going to survive that one.
Yeah.
There's got to be
Leonardo
easier ways, though.
DiCaprio.
I'm just saying.
He wants to go out in style.
Exactly. I want an article written about me.
Remembered, damn it.
Hey, it's either that or I create a new type of, paranormal death. They have spontaneous combustion. I want spontaneous explosion. Just kaboom.
Oh, get it on video.
Oh, by the time that happens. Yeah, exactly. By the time that happens, it'll be, CCTV everywhere. So it's okay.
Yep. See?
I'll try to plan to standing in front of an ATM. How about that?
There we go. Help everybody
Reading
around.
up on all the gross. Just ew.
What?
I'll make
Sorry.
I was too busy laughing. What?
I'm just like, ew. No. Anyways.
Yes. This is going swimmingly. I like it.
We are out of control tonight.
When he said to me last week, and I was kind of serious, he said, I listened to last week's show. What should I expect? And I'm like, well, the last couple weeks we've known the people, so it's crazy fun. But I guess, I'm sorry, I lied to you. This is just how every show goes.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you're not having fun, then why are we doing it?
So you mentioned reading about like the parapsychology and the abilities, the clairvoyance and all that. So do you have any of that?
I've had experiences and I've had things I can't explain. And I'm a firm believer 100% of that. Everybody a couple times in their life has things that, like little glimmers of it, little, things of brilliancy. But outside of that, I consider myself a caveman in that kind of sense because it's like, I'm about as dense as a brick wall. You literally, like when I'm in an investigation, I say slap my ass, because I can feel that. I can't deny that because, I'm just saying. I keep challenging them to a dance off. I very rarely get any responses back from that other than maybe laughter. But, I got told to shut up one time. That was great. But outside of that, I got to say, so, slap me on the ass, tickle my nose. I don't know, do something.
I have this girl that always says, pull my hair. And I'm like, dude, we're not making a porno.
Hey, look, that's the new trend. Have you not heard that? That's a new trend.
Ghost porn.
Ghost porn, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard of a guy
Pirate porn.
There's another one, yeah.
Yeah.
You heard the lady that married her ghost boyfriend and has now divorced him. Yep.
Yep. I heard of a woman
because it wasn't working.
I heard of a woman that's dated 20 ghosts, and then I've heard of a guy that actually does this show that you pay like $30 to watch, and he basically hops around on a bed saying he's having sex with a ghost. I'm like, I got a new cash venture. That's how I'm going to support the magazine.
Men in person. Never mind a ghost man. Like, no.
Hey, you can get on one of these campsites and you can probably make a killing off of it. Look, I got a ghost boyfriend. How you doing?
Yeah.
There you go. And all you're doing is just dancing, really. So.
Yeah. They would pay me to stop dancing.
Maybe we should keep our day job, Shay.
Well, hey, people pay to see weird stuff like that. I mean,
Please put your clothes back on, Kelly.
Kelly's afraid I'll ask her to be the co-host.
Here's
That's
a
why she's trying to talk me out of it.
Here's your Pinterest.
I have my limits. I love you, but I have my limits.
Here's your Pinterest video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All of this is with clothes, though. Mind you. From my understanding, the guy that does it, he keeps all his clothes on and just flops around like a fish on a bed.
I can't get you guys to wear clothes now. If we head down that path, I'm screwed. That's just, no.
I'll wear Spanx.
I tell you. I'm like, I'll pajamas. I'll do pajamas, but.
Yeah, see? Got to be comfortable.
How about Scott Griswold? When I interviewed him, I was like, really? Ghost hunting naked? What the hell were you thinking? That is one brave man right there, let me tell you.
Hey,
and to be
when that all came out,
it did.
Yeah. It did. And when that was all starting to come out, the team that I was a part of at that time actually got contacted to be part of that. And it's like, yeah, no.
And I'm no judgment. I don't mean it judgment-wise, but I'm just saying, you're a brave man, because let me tell you, I could be 100 pounds and wouldn't do it.
I'm going to need a blur to just cover from my toes to my neck.
I think it was on network TV, I believe, or something. So they had to blur something, but they were still filmed naked.
And think about the places that we've gone into to ghost hunt. Do you really want to be walking around there with all your goodies hanging out? No,
poison ivy
sorry.
And
the black mold.
I've seen the spider. No.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
Chewbacca's.
Raccoons.
Chewbacca's.
You've seen a Chewbacca.
I haven't seen one, but I thought I heard one once, and then
no, that was just a hairy naked guy.
It wasn't a real animal, but at the time,
that was somebody investigating naked.
Yeah, that was a Chewbacca. Oh God, put your clothes on.
It sounded it. You know, I also thought I heard a warthog once. You know, woods are not my friends. I'm down to earth until you get me in woods, and then I think I hear Chewbaccas and warthogs, and yeah, woods and me are not friends.
Hey, I'm still convinced that it's just a big hairy naked guy for a lot of these Bigfoot sightings. Not to say Bigfoot's not real. I'm just saying some of them is just very convenient. It's right next to the Quickie Mart, so you know.
Hey, I haven't seen a convincing video either way, so it's debatable.
Huh? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows anymore?
Shaved in a long time, so they're a little hairy. They don't manscape.
That's what I always say.
Kelly, don't roll your eyes, Kelly. He started it.
Hey, that's what I would say. In like 30 years, if you hear about a Rocky Mountain Bigfoot, that's probably just me living in the woods, walking around without my shirt.
Grow your beard out like those.
Yeah, just hair, beard, everything.
People?
Yeah,
those duck people.
Duck Dynasty guys, yes.
That's it. Yeah, I don't watch the TV, but yeah, the duck. You know, they have those full.
Yeah, I look just like them walking through the woods. I just went, "Hey guys, where are you running from?" You know, I was like, "Bigfoot, talk to me."
Come back, give me a hug.
Exactly. You know, by then I'll kind of be older. My voice will sound like crap. Like, how you doing? How you guys? I'm Bigfoot. Hey, come over here and give me a hug. I'm getting insane.
Now you sound like Beetlejuice.
Don't say his name 3 times quick. He'll disappear.
Hey, you know, I've actually played Bigfoot on the radio one time. Bigfoot was
Tell us about that.
Oh, you know, it was a skit I did. I did a lot of skits back in the day, and one of the skits I used to do like a naked weather report on the radio. Think about that for a second. And a friend of mine, she wanted to do a special, and she asked me to revive that after so long, and I lost track of it, and I kind of went off on a tangent of following myself to the woods where I found Bigfoot masturbating to Betty White. It was great. I know. I'm full of it.
I have so many questions.
But there's only an hour, though, so.
I don't even know where to go.
Number one, were you really naked when you did these reports?
Oh, never. I always pretended. I was always innuendos with it. I'd always say, like, hold on, you know, and I put sound effects. Sounds like I'm taking my pants off or something. And I do things like my weather Doppler's cold and, you know, things like that.
Don't judge him for wanting to get into character, Shay.
I know, right?
I'm judging him. I like him even more. Oh.
You know, but this is before like live streaming was a big thing.
Yeah.
So otherwise,
that's why we don't live stream.
Right? And when you're using your phone and you accidentally bump that camera, oh man, it just goes bad.
Or something falls behind you and you bend over to pick it up, and you know, bad moon horizon and all that kind of stuff. CCR is ahead of their time, I swear.
That is excellent.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about offending him.
Okay. Your turn, Shay. Rate this.
So, what does your family think of this? How about that?
Which part? The naked weather report? The ghost hunting?
Any of it. I was thinking the paranormal, but, you know, wherever you want to go. Whatever's more
ghost hunting and the biggest. What is your family?
My father passed away. It's actually something I'm going to start. Actually, for the magazine on Facebook, I'm going to start trying to do like live videos because I built a portal and, I see a lot of people trying to connect loved ones, and I've never tried that, so I'm going to try that. Do like little videos regardless of what happens. But outside of that,
are you going to try to connect to your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's something I just recently thought about. I think it'd be cool, just something to do in the meantime when I've got a few minutes. But my mom, she supports me. She, for Christmas, she gets me like a camera or something, to say, here, I support you. So my sister, she's weird too. So she's into it, but I don't know. She's still a little younger. She's more into wrestling, kind of like that. So when she gets to be about 34, she'll get back into it again. So.
Well, my sister is my partner in this. We founded a team. My father's also passed away, but my mother goes out in the summer, not in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But in the summertime, spring,
cold.
fall,
yeah.
my mother goes with us. She goes out and investigates with us. So it's a family thing. And Kelly's mother's involved too.
Like with a guy or with the paranormal? I mean,
paranormal, as far as I know. Mama Pat, she's involved. Who's Kelly?
Oh, there she is.
You guys were cutting in and out a little bit, so I can hear you guys most of the time.
Mama Pat being involved.
She is involved quite a bit. She'll go with me when I go to different locations. Not everything, though, but she, when I was back in my teen years and going out to work on my scares, she was the one who was taking me and driving me to the places. So, yeah, she's been on a lot of different things and had a lot of cool experiences, too.
Yeah, I just recently, I thought I was all smooth as a kid, sneaking out and stuff, being all ninja-like. And recently my mom's like, yeah, I knew you were leaving and what you were doing, right? I was like, yeah. See,
I did definitely have a benefit there because I'm like, Mom, I want to go to some haunted place. Okay, let's go.
If I ever have kids, that's, going to be the first family outing. It's like, all right, you're 2 years old. I'm creating a legacy here. I
drag my kids with me. They enjoy it for the most part, I think. But
yeah, I couldn't remember if you had kids or not, Jay. Honestly,
no.
I was like, we talked that one time, and I was so enamored with that conversation that I never.
I mean, you've met me. Very few people can put up with me normally, so
I have the same problem. Trust me. If there are repeats on the show.
But no kids. I'm like one of the few people who are in the military that never got married or had kids.
Okay.
So.
Hey, I got married twice and I'm still single, so you're not missing much there. Kids, I have a kid I can send you. I have a few.
I have a spare. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got dogs. Yep. I'm good.
I've got one of those I can send you too.
The dogs are sassy enough. I'm good.
This one's not sassy. He's a barrel with legs.
I remember that. He's like, oh my God, my dogs are acting up. I'm like, yeah, I have dog, cat, kids. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah, they like to bark at each other. I always wonder what they're talking about, though. It's like, that's my cookie. No, it's my cookie. You ate yours already. I did not. I don't remember that, My dog's getting kind of old. He's like a grumpy old man. He just kind of grunts and, snips at the air. And I don't know. He still goes hiking. It's weird.
Hey, there you go.
I'm lucky if I get mine to walk from the living room outside to go to the bathroom at this point. So he's old. It's an old beagle.
Mine's not old, just spoiled.
Well, dogs are supposed to be spoiled.
Have either one of you ever brought yours on a paranormal investigation?
No.
Once, just one time. Well, I mean, I don't know whether he just didn't like being out in the public like that or in a new space, or if it just smelled really funny because it smelled really funny. But he was kind of acting kind of strange. He was very hesitant to do a whole lot or go in much of the places. It was just me, him, and another friend, actually a woman I was dating at the time. We kind of just did our little bored weekend Scooby-Dooing again, found some old place, and maybe there was a wild animal in there that he was trying to say, no, we should probably go back over here, but I mean, like, in places that I've lived,
protecting you from that bear attack.
Probably. It's like, it's not time. It's like, you're right. I haven't become the champion of the world in basket weaving yet, so I still got some time. But sometimes, when I think that...
No, we always had animals when I was growing up in our haunted house, but...
Did they stare at the walls in odd places? That's what mine always does.
She's quiet. We must have lost her. She's really quiet.
She's kind of, I hear her typing now.
I can too.
Can she hear us at all though? Oh my.
I can now.
Oh, there we go.
What did your animals do growing up in the haunted house? That's what he asked.
Oh, yeah, it was like super choppy and robotic sounding, so I missed most of that. But just they would growl. Most of the stuff that I saw was in my room because there was a older female that was in my bedroom. But they would growl over they had rented out the upstairs of the house that I grew up in, and a school teacher had lived there. And so she had kind of like her little kitchen and everything up there. And that was the area that they'd always just kind of growl at and watch. And they weren't animals that would typically growl or hiss. So they wouldn't listen to me when I'd tell them to stop. But if I told her that she was scaring me, then it would stop right away. So it was always good. But, and a few things downstairs. The dog we had a little rat terrier dog. And she thought she was, this big and mighty thing. And she'd go running up at something she'd see in the dining room, just ferocious. And then it'd be like it started moving towards her and she'd back up like, I didn't mean it. So, yeah.
I did have, growing up, they're the scariest thing that's happened to me when I was a kid that really kind of clicked that trigger. Because, everybody has one of those trigger moments. And it was like right before I moved back to North Carolina. So I was about 14-ish. And just some crazy stuff happened. I kept hearing it sounded like something was up in the attic space that we didn't use. It was running around. There was like squirrels or something, bats or something. It was Florida. And we had like a lab. And just one night it was relentless. It kept going. I opened up the little cross space hats that everybody has throughout their houses. And I had this big, massive, shiny light that lit up everything. And I'm looking around and nothing was there. I was like, okay, something just hiding or something. No big deal. And it just kept going and going. It sounded like it was right above my room. And I was like, okay, something's right above my room. I'm going to catch it. And I was a lot quicker than I am now, a lot skinnier than I am now. So I left a chair there. So I just kind of popped up and I pushed the thing up and I popped it in. No movement. I figured I should have seen something moving because it was a pretty big attic and I wasn't like right near a wall or nothing. Still didn't see nothing. I'm like, okay. And then it's like I close it, I go lay back down, and I start reading or getting comic books because I'm a nerd like that. And I'm reading this comic book, and I hear like something like crash almost in my closet because that's where the hatch was, And I was like, what the hell? Like the whole cartoon bug eyes, like, uh-oh. And I was waiting for something. Exactly. Like, oh my God. And I was waiting for something to come out of my closet. Like I was waiting for like a burglar or something, one of those kind of things. And all I hear out in the living room, because I was by myself, my parents went out at the time, my sister was at a friend's house. I probably was being grounded or something. Who knows? And I just hear the lab out in the living room just whining, like, like she was scared of something. I was like, okay, this isn't going well for me right now. And I said,
wait, say that again. A what?
It's not going well for me right now.
Going well. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So I just I did like the whole typical kid thing, brought the comic book even closer. Like I couldn't read it up.
Because that makes it go away.
Because it makes it go away and it makes things
totally
safer
safe.
and better. Yep. And so then I just kept hearing.
Next comes the blanket.
Yep, and the blanket I did pull up to my chest at the time. I'm there, and I'm a big 14-year-old at this point. I was already 6 foot tall, so and I'm sitting there like, okay, and I'm just not even reading, just like waiting for something to happen, and all of a sudden, that's the thing. Like I can never sit there and say I see anything. Nothing talks to me without devices or anything like that. I will say I'm pretty good luck. I seem to have that kind of a personality, would like to hang out, but I can always been able to tell when people are in the room with you, right? So if there's someone in the room with you, you kind of know that. It's just
most people can. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, right. So it's like I can't always say that. Oh yes, there's a ghost here or not, but I can definitely say, okay, something's moving around in here. I may not be able to see it.
I hate to interrupt, but it's like when you're in a room alone, and all of a sudden your space starts filling up.
Yeah.
It's like you can just feel it. You can't see or anything, hear anything, but it starts filling up on you, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what was happening. And it felt like, at one point it got so heavy and it got so filled up that I started feeling motion, like people walking by me. Yeah. it felt like I was in Times Square or something. Like all of a sudden my room became a subway platform. All right. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Right. And I'm like, okay. And I said, screw it. I dropped the comic book. I started pulling the blanket up over my head because, again, I didn't know what else to do. You know, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't feel anything. You know, I was 14, but what else am I going to do? I was by myself.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I get it right up to where my eyes were, and to this day, I'm getting chills right now about to say this because it's still the most impactful personal experience I've ever had. And I've been seeking it ever since, if that makes any sense. But out of nowhere, the coldest, strongest, firmest grasp on the side of my neck and shoulders I've ever felt from behind my bed. And my bed was against a giant desk that was against the wall, and nobody could fit there. Grabbed me and pushed me down into the bed. That literally sent me into almost like a cartoon flip around, trying to run in midair kind of thing, because I'm pretty sure I peed myself a little bit in that moment. I'm not ashamed to say that. And I flipped around. I looked up. I'm on all fours, and I'm about to have a heart attack. My heart is racing so much, and everything goes quiet. And I'm like, well, this is creepy. So I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Get up, go to run out. All of a sudden, I hear growling in the hallway, 2 red eyes, and a dog's wincing on the other side. I'm like, so that's not the dog. Slam the door again and say, well, I'm stuck here for the night. And yeah, it was kind of interesting. It was very interesting, but it's Florida. What are you going to do? You know, it's weird things happen in Florida.
Because that explains it all. It's Florida.
Yeah, it's Florida. That's just what I keep saying. It's Florida.
I love that. He keeps just saying, you know, it's Florida. Like,
it's Florida.
But, you know,
like that makes it perfect sense.
Well, okay, weird things happen there all the time. You know, they have some of the most oddest, strangest, cryptid type stuff. It was one of the first settlements. You know, it was a massacre when the Spanish went there with the Native Americans. It was also one of the most violent areas of that region. So you mean it
in a paranormal way?
Yeah.
Okay, because you just
and realistically,
keep saying it, like, it's Florida, like. But, yeah.
Well, if you go there, the people are kind of weird too.
Well, that is a place where men eat faces off of others, and
exactly. And that's where the vampire murders happened in the 90s. I mean, like I said, every place is weird to a point, and everybody has the weird people, but Florida kind of just is special with their own weirdness. You know, it's like they do what everybody else does, but with a flair.
The red eyes caught my attention, though.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen it.
One of my children. I don't want to say on air which one because I don't talk about their experiences.
Yeah.
But one of my children had multiple. Actually, I think it was 2 of them, to be honest. In the same room, had multiple experiences with something. They kept saying, "I see red eyes. I see red eyes," and they knew nothing about the paranormal at the time. My kids are older now, so I'm talking like years and years ago. But so I always find that.
And that's a terrifying.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying feeling to be like trapped in your bedroom and know, but that's my only way to get out of there, you know?
Yeah.
And mine wasn't that scary, but I was upstairs in my room at this house and it was all hardwood floors. So if somebody walked around like down the hallway, you could hear them walking. Yeah. And I was in my room and I very distinctly heard someone come up the steps and walk down the hallway to the point that I could tell like how heavy they were. I was narrowing down which one of my family members I thought it was because it was so distinct. And like I figured it was my father.
You're like, oh, here comes mom, here comes uncle, here comes, yeah.
And it stopped right outside my bedroom door, which is what he would have done because he's dad, and I expected him to knock at any second or say Kelly, you know, and nothing. And finally I'm like, well, I'll make some noise so he knows I'm awake, you know, and still nothing. And I'm like, Dad, you know, nothing. And I'm like, well, shit, my only option is to go over there and open the door.
Should I or shouldn't I?
Do I just stay here and pretend that didn't happen?
Like I said, 2 of my kids experienced the red eye thing. And then one of them, I'm trying carefully not to say, I have 2 girls, 2 boys. I'm trying not to say which is which. There's a couple of them that are known. Caitlin's very known on Paranormal Buzz, but I have a couple kids that are very known on Facebook. I'm trying not to say. But so a couple of them saw the red eyes, but one of them would wake up with scratches and bruises and screaming and crying, saying, "Get off me, get off me." I started sleeping in the room. Mm-hmm. I saw the worst experience of my life, a shadow figure that dodged at me. So I moved the bedrooms around. I slept in there. And it would stop and stop, stop and start. Eventually, my arm got broken in that room. So
Wow.
It was, then the house burnt down. It all went away. So all's good.
Yeah.
But
See, and I never had to deal with any of that. I mean, my son, I'd find him
off and on.
covered.
I don't want to make it sound like constant because people are like, why did you stay there?
Well, still, but even if it's just once in a while, well.
Yeah. And then within months of
No, mine was
Yeah.
Mine was terrifying things like she'd cover him up and tuck him in his crib, or they'd tickle him, so really terrifying things. Yeah.
Hey, you just had a live-in babysitter, that's all.
It was okay. I say that it was kind of, half-heartedly. It was not comfortable by any means because he's like kind of cringing, like jumping away when you poke a kid in the side, and I'm like, what are you doing? Hold still. He's like, well, they're tickling me, Mommy. I'm like, done. I'm leaving.
But when you look back on it, you look at it differently. Like you don't because there was so. I can't speak for you guys, but for me, there was so much space in between. It was like something was coming and going. It wasn't constant, so it wasn't like Amityville Horror. Pack up the kids and move in 30 days. There was so much space in between that. But looking back, you put it all together, and it's like, by the time my arm was broken, before that happened, I already knew what was going on, and then that happened, and it was just like, okay, another thing.
Yeah.
Kind of downplaying it, but you know what I mean.
Crazy. So
bring out the Ouija board. Let's get it.
Right? Oh, don't bring up those words. Jeez, Jay, you just opened a bucket of worms. Good Lord.
It was a joke, guys. I'm just kidding.
No, we get along fine. But we get stoned when we bring up the Ouija board. So,
cardboard's horrible.
Like pot or like people
right?
Exactly. At us. You don't know, and we're not going to tell
explains
you which
a lot.
one we mean.
That explains a lot, though.
Well, it was my first way of communicating with the devil.
Well, the devil's lettuce.
Oh, I'm kidding. For anybody who's tuning in for the first time, I'm kidding.
Man.
I'm
at this point,
sober as a judge.
I feel bad for anybody that's listening at every show. I say this, though. I feel bad for anybody that's listening for the first time. It's like, this is just this.
I had a question, and now I forgot. It was a good question, damn it. I don't remember what it was.
My everyday life.
So where would you like to go investigate? I know, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Top, yeah, that's a good one.
I hear a lot of good things about the Sally House. I would like to go there. Those seem to be pretty fun. I still have that kind of the outlook that I did when I was like a teenager. If it's a cool story, whether you can validate it or not, I'll go. I'll check it out.
Yeah, as long as there's a claim. I'll check it out. Yeah.
One of the things I want to try to do over the summer is a place down here called 4 Points, where it's like Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah meet. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be like a whirlwind of different type of paranormal, from UFOs to dogmen to shapeshifters to ghost hitchhikers and stuff like that. And so I was like, hey, I should be able to get something out there, do like a little weekend camping trip. I keep hearing about I can't remember if it's Pennsylvania or Virginia witch or something like that. That's like a spirit of a witch. Like you got to do like a hike up this hill area or something. And I don't know. It's some pretty cool stuff I'm looking into. I wouldn't mind going up there. It's pretty much abandoned now because of the lore up there and the stories.
It might be Virginia.
It might be Virginia. Yeah.
Recognize the story, but it could be many places.
Well, it's the picture that everybody's kind of seen. It's supposed to be from like the 60s, and it's like the older woman that turns and looks at the camera, and she's like all like demonic looking, ugly face, and it's like that's supposed to be the witch. I'm like, I don't know if that's really the witch or if that's just a really ugly person. I'm just gonna go with really ugly person. I've been to Virginia, North Carolina. I'm from there. I get it.
People think the same thing of me, so be nice.
So I'm not. you're perfectly fine. You're an average person like everybody else. It's just some people, they hide in the mountains for a reason. But no, seriously, I hear a lot of really cool stuff. And I mean, at the very least, I hear a lot of stories coming out of that area where there's like a lot of activity and a lot of experiences and stuff. So I figured, why not go up there and just see for myself. I mean, I like to film. Most of my stuff is camera work, but I mean, I just want to do like little mini documentaries. I don't really care about doing a web series or show or nothing like that. I mean, if someone wants to pay me to do that, if they want to pay me money to do that, fine, go right ahead. Give me some money. I'll go do it. I'm doing it anyways,
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it'd be kind of fun, because I think things like that, it's, I'm a big history buff. I kind of off and on going to college for anthropology. So, how the people, how they live and why they do the things they do in society. I mean, that's interests me a lot. So, I mean, when I do kind of go to these, like, especially historical places and, that has a lot of activity, that's usually kind of my thought process walking into it. It's like, okay, well, why would these people be upset? And why are these spirits here? If they're spirits here at all, why are they stuck here? Well, socially speaking, X, Y, Z, and that's could be why they're here. So let's kind of play off of that,
Most of our listeners know that we like to have fun. I try to have a different type of podcast. Like, I want you to say but we like to have fun. I like to people to show their personality. But I want people to know that not only was Jay tolerant of us, but he's an actual serious guy, and he's a hard worker. And you'll love his magazine, you'll love his stuff, his perspective, which we didn't get much into. Anytime you want to come back, I'll give you, if you give us a second chance, Hey, you have some great theories, some great thoughts on stuff, and I just try to show a different side of people. Like, hey, this is who we are, and sometimes I get carried away, as
Well, that's how it's supposed to be.
Anybody listening, check out his stuff because he's really great. You want to throw out some social media? Yeah, go ahead.
On Facebook, it's just ParaNation Magazine, ParaNation Magazine. Just give that a look. I also used Instagram. I've been posting a lot of pictures and, the magazine cover, and just get some stuff built up for that. It's the same thing, ParaNation Magazine, or ParaNation, I believe, just for Instagram. I'm still developing a website right now. Right now, it's just going to be paranationmag.org.
Okay.
I have a .com, but it's kind of tied up in another situation. But in probably like a month or two, that'll be the primary one, the .com. But once I get it, hopefully this weekend, because I put Wednesday the 23rd as the launch for the magazine, so I kind of have to have that up and running so people get copies of it through that. But I do most of my kind of posting as far as content and teasers and stuff like that. I'm going to use Facebook for that, graphic wise, just kind of like, what we're doing is going to be through Instagram. And then the website, is going to be like a combination of all of it. It's just going to be like a centralized location for it. So I'm excited about it. I mean, I've talked to some really good people, the people that in the first magazine, the 3 interviews I've done, they're just really interesting people, and they're paranormal investigators, but they're all just a little different. It's not like you're gonna read an article about a team and hear that it's all about demons and how they yell and scream like they do on TV. But I also try to throw in a little bit of humor into it. I try, my filler articles, as I call them, just like little informative or theories, and things like that. So, and then this one, I actually did a write-up for my experience with the Villisca Axe Murder House. So,
and when again is that coming out?
Wednesday the 23rd.
Wednesday the 20th. I knew it was. Really, that's why we picked this week. I knew it was close, but I couldn't remember the date. So, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean,
I've already shared a few things on a couple of the pages, but Paranormal Buzz has your page out there.
Oh, thank you,
so
thank you.
People can find that, and I reshare your Instagram stuff too. So
I've been floored with just how many people have actually taken to it and has supported it so far. Matter of fact, the founder of Haunted Magazine and Haunted Live actually on Twitter shared my stuff.
I saw that.
Yeah. I was floored by that because
see, now that's real para unity right there.
Exactly. So I support everything. I mean, of course, I've always did to begin with, but I mean, just that alone. I mean, he didn't have to do that. I'm quote unquote the competitor, even though I'm a minnow in a salmon or a bass farm.
But he still took the time and respect to share your stuff. Like, hey, look, because we're all after the same thing, and whether one person does things one way and another person does things another. That's why I let my show go crazy, because I just wanted to be a little different. But
But yeah, I mean, and I think the difference is too because like he has a pretty good lockdown on like the bigger names, like the people with the TV shows and the Nick Groffs. I mean, they help write, they do exclusive articles for him, and I'm more, are getting the local, the regional, the state. The everyday investigator that maybe doesn't have a show, or maybe is trying to put something together, or on the brink of possibly having a show, and I think their stories and their experiences are just as important as the ones who do already have a TV show and has a big name. So,
yeah, I really agree. But like I said, I like to have fun, and you egg me on, so it works out good. But anytime you want to come back, you are welcome to come back. Everybody watch for that launch. Did you say how they can find the magazine?
When I finish the website this weekend, that's where I'll have the digital downloads and the order. Okay. Yeah, the ordering of everything will be through the magazine. So I will have a very limited, unfortunately, hard copy. It's just so expensive to print. Yeah, yep. It's so expensive to print them, and they charge a pretty substantial amount for a page. Sure. So it's unfortunate because I really wanted to give like a lot of things away a lot cheaper, and it's like, here, just take it for free because that's what it is. But unfortunately the printing's a lot more expensive than what it was when I first started looking at it. So I mean, it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's limited. Maybe if it starts going somewhere, obviously it'll be a lot cheaper to print in bulk. I just don't have, $800 lying around to do a big bulk print like that. So
it's the reality of doing business. I mean, it's expensive and we can't always do it. So
yeah, I mean, at first it might, be a little harsh, but I mean, my long-term plan, if it does do well, it will be a lot cheaper. I want to cut everything in half. Price-wise.
So what he's saying, guys, is we have to support this. We have to show our support and our love, and we'll see more and more and more of it.
I really do feel bad.
Well, no, but when you have even the initial information, when you finally have the web, make sure you get it to me. Okay. I'll share the crap out of it.
Absolutely.
I do appreciate that. I mean, I am saying 100%. I'm, for the print stuff, I'm only charging $1 more than what it costs to print each issue. So, I mean, but hey, like I said, I'm doing this because I enjoy it, and there's stories that I feel should be told, and that's what it is.
Yeah, that's why we all do this, though. We just do it in different formats,
Yeah.
I really believe that.
So I stepped away for a second to let the dog out. So sorry. Did you already ask like how people can find him and what he's got coming up in the future? Okay.
Yes,
sorry.
I didn't
let my barrel out.
Other than Para Magazine, do you have anything else coming up? I did not ask that, but
I'm working on issue 2 and 3 right now.
That doesn't take enough time, right?
Right. Yeah, that takes enough time.
But what are you doing with your spare time? Come on.
I was going to ask him that, but I skipped it because.
well, when I do find some spare time, I am trying to put together a small little documentary for the group from the Villisca. I'm hoping this spring to have something together. I kind of feel bad because Aaron, the co-founder with me, he reviewed most of his stuff already, and I'm like, I haven't even touched any of my stuff yet. But
I've been there.
Once I get the website up and running and I don't have to deal with, that initial stuff, I'm going to be jumping on that and kind of blocking things and getting things put together for that. So hopefully this spring, I'll have that out and just watch it. I don't care. I'm going to try to post it to Amazon if I can. But I heard you got to type in a lot of stuff for things and it's a pain.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But I'll do it anyways, just because I have, Amazon as a TV provider thing. So I want to watch my own stuff.
They have such weird rules too, like you're not supposed to state what your website is or anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Weird rules.
There's no additional promoting and stuff like that.
I'm out of coffee.
Joke's on them. I'm naming it Our Supernatural Serenity. So,
There you go.
Ways around everything.
Right.
Very, very, very cool.
All right. So we've been on for almost an hour and a half here. So Kelly.
Oh, good. Yes, dear.
What do you got coming up?
Oh, man. So I've got my podcast that's running on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. And it's called The Realm Walker. It's every Wednesday. Next week's guest will be Daniel Klass with the Hinsdale House. I've got my public investigation at the Granger House on January 26th.
Ghost Media.
Girls versus Ghost Media, Blog Talk Radio.
On this network. It's on a different one. You gotta put that out there.
I spend one night a week with you, one night a week with them. I'm an equal opportunist.
No, I just want people to know where to find you, so they don't look.
I love you both.
You. Yep.
Well, Shay'd point you in the right direction, but
yeah, I will.
But I've got a public investigation at the Granger House on January 26th. It's a super cool location, and I do have a couple spots left for that. I am doing some filming as well. Editing sucks. I don't know how people do it all the time. Just so you guys know. Ugh, it's miserable stuff. Anyways, but I'm working on getting some more videos put out there because I just started my YouTube channel, and yes, it has. Say that again. Sorry.
Oh, wait. I said they get sick like me. They work really hard, then they get sick and take a break, and then they go back to it.
Yeah.
Well, and my damn mobile job right now has decided that, it needs me there like 60 hours a week, so it's making it tougher. But
so needy.
Right? Do they think they pay my bills or something? Anyways. I will be at Melbourne Manor coming up early February with Raven Rose Paranormal, so excited about that. Which was not very far from Ballista, by the way, and not very far from the Sally House. So you could trifecta that whole thing sometimes.
Yeah, hey, they already reached out saying, "Come visit me."
Right? Yeah, it's a good time, and it's a phenomenal location. And if you ever want company, let me know because I love going to Melbourne Manor. So.
And Kelly is the best. The best. I don't know how to word this. Kelly is the best, most trustworthy, most accurate psychic medium that I've ever met in my life.
That just set the bar really, really high, Shay. How about
especially because it's coming from me? Because no.
Remember, she's on a lot of cold medicine.
Well,
no. You know
as long as you warn me about the ghost farts, I'm fine with it.
That takes all the fun out of it, though. Can I just sit back and laugh about it and then tell you afterwards that I knew it was going to happen?
Well, if you sit back and laugh, I'm already going to pick up on the laughter.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah.
All right, guys.
So I'm kind of telling you, sort of, kind of.
This is your heads up now.
But yeah, I've got some investigations coming up and some public events and fun stuff. I'm keeping more than busy.
More than, I feel you there.
I was looking for a weekend and somebody asked me to get together with them for a weekend, and I'm like, sure, I can do this. I have a weekend in
June.
2021.
Does this weekend work?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel you. I've actually been slowing down, taking some time off lately. So.
All
right,
I love what I do. Love what I do.
Shay, what do you have?
I can hear you guys are still there, but
yeah, you're breaking up a little, Kelly. I am actually slowing down right now. I am on break from investigations just for a tiny, tiny bit. We'll get back, probably not even a month, to investigating again. I'm going to catch up on all the 80 hours of review I have, and I do 2 shows a week. What else? I don't know. I can't even tell you without looking at it. I can tell you next Friday we have Ken Boggle. Woohoo!
Yes,
Woo, Ken!
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. I've been really taking it easy. I don't even have all of February and March booked yet for shows. I might take a couple weeks off. I have lupus, and I've been really sick, and I got this cold on top of it. So I actually might take a couple weeks off from both shows and just everything in general and just relax. But then in March, we'll definitely be investigating, so I'm trying to time it right. So
You're trying to hit that 500 investigation mark, huh?
no. No. I can't even tell you how many we've done. I don't think we've hit 500, but we've done.
Well, you're
hundreds.
shooting for it. You're shooting for it. You're shooting for it. Yeah.
We could combine our count, and maybe we'd be at 500.
Yeah. I mean, I've done.
You know,
I've done the 40, 50 locations, and most of them multiple times. But
yeah,
I still don't even think it would hit. Some of them. One place I've done 12 times, but I still don't think it would fucking hit 500. And I'm not
200.
trying for that.
Well, and
slow down.
Honestly, as I was saying that, I was thinking, no, Kelly, you're probably about there on your own, because even Mason House alone, I'm thinking about how many years I've been going there and how many times a year I go.
Yeah, but he's been doing this for 20 years. How long you been doing this?
I'm only 29, so...
Yeah, but you've been doing
5?
this longer than me.
Right. I've maybe been doing it for 20 years, yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the investigation side. It will be 4 years in March. So I've made up for lost
You're
time.
just a baby.
Yeah, I've made up the investigation side, yes. I'm a baby. I've made up for it, though, because like I said, we're on like 40, 50 locations in multiple times. So, it gets...
You're a para OG and experience.
Yeah, and then I'll take a couple months off, and then I'll like overdo it again. Not just me. Nicole's right there with me because we're,
Yeah,
anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
That's where I'm at right now. Is I took a couple months off, so
yeah.
I took
December
2 years
and
off.
January were pretty slow.
I should have,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
That's okay.
I do need to get out to Iowa. I know,
Yes,
Cynthia, I'm working on it. My youngest daughter will be graduating high school in May. Technically, I think it's May, but
May.
We'll get there sooner or later.
You're going to need like a month here, though, to be able to have time to go with everybody who wants some time with you, though.
Yeah.
I know. But Nick and Sue said I could stay with them. I've had other offers. I'll stay with Kelly whether she likes it or not. There's plenty of places in Iowa. I will get there sooner or later. It'll just take me a while.
You could even sleep at some of these places, too, so.
Yeah, that's the other thing they've said.
I slept in Edinburgh the last time I was there.
That's what I did.
I didn't sleep much, but I did sleep there last time.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You're allowed to sleep there, whether you sleep or not is a different story.
Edinburgh, I could maybe... Well, there's a house out back, so there's a place to stay. Malvern is a place that I don't think I could spend the night there because they don't stop talking long enough for me to get any sleep.
Yeah, they're like... I heard that. Like, da-da-da-da. It's constant. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, they... I don't know if saying they like me there is the right thing, but... yeah, it's always really noisy when I'm there, so that's not going to work. Yeah,
Cynthia's saying I could stay with her too. Nick and Sue have been saying for at least a year now, and they mean it. They don't just say it; they're like, "No, come here, come stay with me." Nick and Sue Pashuta from Short Bus, in case. All
right.
Awesome team. Look them up. Great people.
Good people. Yeah. Good people.
Kim Purvis now joined. All right. We've been on like an hour and a half. And I'll keep going. This is a problem with me. This is, I tell people hour and a half the most. Kelly, why don't you do shout outs for it?
I got it.
Too, but
I'm on it. I was already on it. All right. So we have the lovely Jen B and Kim Purvis. Matt's in there with us. And Mama Pat, of course. Woo! Crazy Shay Carroll was in there.
Yeah, crazy bitch.
I try to keep her out, but damn, she just keeps coming back like herpes.
Can't block her, man.
There's a cream for that.
Miss Amy Bing was in chat with us, along with Mallory.
Mallory, my stepdaughter, Mallory?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Entertainment.
And let's see. I feel like I'm missing people. I'm scrolling pretty fast. So
We always miss people, but they know we can only see so much.
You need a sound
Cynthia?
effects machine.
I do.
I just make my own sound effects. That was what the do.
Ready,
That was
Kelly?
me scrolling.
You're fired.
Working next to me has to be a nightmare because I talk to myself and I make sound effects and I swear a lot. So
Yeah.
it's got to be a nightmare working next to me. But if I missed anybody in chat, I'm sorry about that. We appreciate you being here and we appreciate you guys listening. And if you're listening to the replays, we appreciate that as well. So thank you.
Yes, because now we're on so many formats. I feel so bad because, like, somebody said, you got to give a shout out to individual formats. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but I can't. It's like, it's Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. I don't know. Just if wherever you're listening, thank you.
Thank you.
See?
There's our sound effects. We need our guests to be our sound effects for us.
I put all these sound effects on for Jen. That was the. Here, can you hear one more and then I'll stop. I don't know. Let's see who can hear it.
Dancing Dingledorfs.
Could you guys hear it?
I couldn't.
No. The guests can hear it, but you guys couldn't. So that you guys will just have to be left to wonder.
So God knows what she's playing, Jay. It could be horrible.
I know. It could be like creepy clown music or like the Barney theme song.
It was like Dancing Dingledorfs
or it says, geez, these people suck or something like that.
Right. Or Westboro Baptist Church protest. Who knows?
Could be anything with me. Now that I know people can't hear it, now I know what to do.
Well, that's evil. I mean, I heard it. Completely heard it.
Oh, yeah.
She's psychic. She heard that.
Yeah. See?
Right? Exactly.
All right. You guys hold on 1 second. I got to be serious for a second because...
boo.
Serious face.
Serious face. I'm only co-owner, so I have this little bit of work I actually have to do because I do nothing else. So that was a joke. Oh my God, I was kidding, guys. Sorry. So coming up tomorrow night, we have the premiere of the one and only Peggy Gypsy. Yeah, 9 p.m. 8 Central. Into the Abyss with Peggy Gypsy. That will premiere tomorrow. It might be every other week for a while, but
she's a hoot. Tune in. She's fun.
Oh my God, I love that girl. Let me tell you, she Kelly, you think you're patient with me? Let me tell you, that girl. Quick story: I was video chatting her on the phone. I'll make it really quick. Don't worry. I was video chatting her, and I got up to make coffee. And I'm making the coffee, and she's like, "Oh, your kitchen's so cute." And mind you, this is at the end of the conversation. She's like, "Your kitchen's so cute." And I'm like, "How can you see my kitchen?" And I realized my camera's on reverse. Like, she can't even see me. She's seeing
the whole time. There you go.
Most of it, yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, everybody be here tomorrow night for Peggy Gypsy, because it will be good. She has a great guest. I can't remember who it is. And oh my God, I'm horrible.
Turn over your boss pants.
He's not wearing.
Hold on. Yeah.
That's the problem.
I'm not used to saying most of our shows don't have guests, so I'm like, I wasn't. Oh, all right. Tomorrow night.
I'm going to look. You keep talking.
Sean Ellis.
Got it. You go. Keep talking.
I already found it.
Yes, that's it.
Sean Ellis. He has for over 20 years experience. Sean Ellis has pursued the study of magic through the dedication, practice, and study at a young age. His grandmother recognized his ability to speak to spirits, and because of his gifts, she passed. I can't read.
She passed the practice of hoodoo to him.
Yep.
We're reading the same thing.
Yep. I wrote it, so I should know.
He is a business shop owner down in New Orleans. Yeah.
Oh, Nolans.
Yeah, he owns the Crescent City Conjure in New Orleans, Louisiana. I wrote that. I should be able
to say that the right way, Shay.
What,
of all the things you can put your accent on, New Orleans is one of them.
No.
Come on.
New Orleans. I thought I said it. No, I didn't say it right.
You're supposed to combine the words.
And take all, like, it's got like you took a peanut butter and you just smeared it. New Orleans. Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah, see, we don't do R's and stuff in Mass. Like,
well, make sure you get the vodka ready because Hoodoo has vodka.
That must be why I like it.
No, me on vodka is not good. No, I take that back. I'll be sober tomorrow night, guys.
I am still feeling the effects of the vodka yesterday, so no.
Yeah.
Never go out drinking with your coworkers. Horrible people.
Anyway. True.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Jay, thank you for tolerating me. I hope you enjoyed Kelly, the beautiful Kelly McCarville. She's awesome.
Yes. Well, I'm more thankful you tolerated me.
No.
Oh, you were great. You're great. Easy to talk to and tolerated us. Sometimes, I won't say always, but sometimes we're a little better behaved than this. But
why?
Yeah, because it could go dark places if we don't rein it in.
Well,
next time could go downhill too. So.
Well, next time you guys invite me on, I'll go ahead and make sure I get the satanic circle and we'll do a seance and raise the devil. Go really dark with this.
Next time you're on, we're going to do shots every time.
I'm down for that.
We did that on B Squared. Every time Shay sweared, everybody had to take a shot. They were hammered by the end of the show.
I think I outnumbered you this time. It's me that's got my little inner sailor coming out.
I'm doing better.
Sorry, folks.
I'm doing better. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you next Friday. I'm going to end the show because we'll just keep talking.
Be sure to look up our guest in his new magazine, ParaNation magazine.
Yes, I'll share all his stuff again tonight. So,
thank you again.
For more information regarding what Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.